like to welcome you to this year's 1990s annual football banquet. I'm Mcneil. It was my pleasure to be your president of the Boosters this year. I'd like to take a minute to introduce the officers that are here. Pete Harvey's on his way to St. Louis tonight. But Edie, our secretary, Holmquist, sitting over here, has done a super job for us the last 3 or 4 years. Teresa Glennis, sitting here. And she'll be with the staff next year. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our new president for next year, John Mcneil.
And I'd like to announce that I am the president, and I guess that's already taken care of. And Mr. Harvey's going to be our vice president again, and Teresa Glennis is volunteered to be our treasurer, and our new secretary is Joan Scott, sitting at this table right over here. Okay, and seating at this side of the table is my wife Linda. Jenny and Pluta. Coach John Pluta. Mr. Jack Jones. And his wife Mrs. Jones.
And sitting on this side of the head table is my wife Dottie. Sue Graham, our cheerleader coach. And Dr. Cleveland, supervisor for the school. This time, we have some other special guests here tonight we'd like to introduce. Mr. and Mrs. Pete Smith, sitting at the table on my far left. The two good guys from WCHN that does the football game and does a lot of little things for the Boosters, Pete and Rich. Thank you. Matt and Rich, sorry about that. Also, I was thinking ahead of time, this is the last year that we're going to have this other gentleman with us because he's leaving the area, Dr. Fisco and his wife, and we'll miss him.
Okay, I'd like to introduce the coaches at this table over here. We have Coach John Martinson, Coach Mickey James, Coach Bob Branham, Coach Lee Sapensky, and Mr. Lee Sapensky Sr., who does the video on volleyball games. And our JV coaches, Coach Kaufman, and Coach Mariano. And our Coach Wolford, the intermediate coach.
Now I'd like to introduce the important people we're here for. And you call it Banquet, I call it a celebration of getting together with some of the nicest boys, girls, gentlemen, and ladies that I think you could be wanting to be involved with. So we're here to honor you. First, our cheerleaders. Second, our JV team. And last but number one, the Norwich Varsity. At this time, we'd like to take a minute and introduce the seniors of this team, because this will be the last year they'll be with us for a banquet. So at this time, we'd like to have them stand up. Kevin Worley. Jason Zuma. Aaron Gelman. Bruce Persons. Sam Reichenberg. Tom Reese. Pete Artel. Matt Worker. Steve Burt. Andy Holmquist. And in the program, you know, we try to get this right, but we kind of goof sometimes. And we happen to goof because we have one senior cheerleader that we didn't get down here, and we apologize to her. Jenny Zonner.
Okay, we have a few door prizes that we're going to give out this evening, and just a few minutes, lead me back to the box with the winner. Before we do the drawing, I'd like to introduce at this time the line crew that helps us along the line there, the chain gang. Bill Loomis is here. He's always at the table. And we have, I believe there's 7 Pop Warner coaches here this evening, and they're all over at that table over there.
You got a ticket in here? Well, I don't, so I'll draw it.
Parent with the number 046530. Mr. Burke? Player number 046421. Young was supposed to be with us this evening, but apparently he couldn't make it. And to do the invocation, we've asked Mickey James.
This is a new experience, so it's going to be real short. Stay seated and bow your heads, and I think at this time of year it's very appropriate to give thanks to God for all that He's given us, and thanks for all this great fellowship here. It's good to see a crowd like this, and to pay tribute to kids that really did a heck of a job this year, and I think we can all thank God for it. Thank you.
Okay, now it comes the part that everybody's been waiting for. We can go eat now. But we're going to do this in an orderly fashion. And ladies go first, so the cheerleaders...
Assembly numbers 544.
Give special thanks this evening to the crew in the kitchen, Gary Palmer and his crew here at the VFW. Here they are. Okay, we're going to begin the awards right now, and we're going to start off with the JV team, junior varsity team, with coaches Kaufman and Mariano.
You like him? In case you didn't know, this is Mr. Mariano and I'm Mr. Cal. We're not going to take a long time, but I know I speak for the coaches and to say that it was a real pleasure to work with the kids. They were responsive, very enthusiastic, and we had a lot of fun this year. So we're going to hand out the awards, and we put them in alphabetical order. Just want to come up here, and after you come up here, just stand up here, and we'll give you a nice round of applause. Okay. First one is Jason Augustine. Ray Bliss. Steve Breen. Jeremy Frank. Rhett Genung. Tobin Genung. Jason James. Nice haircut. Pete Litishenko. Jesse Lenny. Chris Van Warren. Chris Maynard, assistant coach. Sean McInerney. Matt Menard. Josh Mars. Steve Natoli. Ben Fetterplace. Sean Ryan. Sprout. Jason Swingle. Dirkman Sickle. Patrick Tucker. Holly Whiteman. And last but not least, Todd Wright. Like I said before, it was a real pleasure. We did have a lot of fun, and the Varsity better look out next year, because I know there's going to be about 6 or 7 of these guys that are create a lot of competition next year. Let's have a nice round of applause.
The JV players got together and purchased these plaques to show our gratitude for our coaches because of the great job they did for us this year. So it's my pleasure on behalf of the 1990 Norwich JV football team to present Mr. Kaufman and Mr. Moriano with these plaques. On the top of the plaques, we have the coach's name, Joe Moriano and Norm Kaufman. Yeah, you can have it. Okay, and inscribed on the plaque it says, "For your dedication, hard work, and help this season, we are extremely grateful. Without you, none of our success could have been possible." The 1990 Norwich JV football team, with a record on the bottom 7-2.
I would like to say thank you for Joe. I know I speak for him, and things get frightening up here when I read off Jason Swingle's name, because I remember coaching his father 20 years ago. So it really was a pleasure to work with the guys this year, and thank you very much, and speak for Joe as well.
Thank you, Brian and John. At this time, we'd like to introduce Sue Graff, the coach of the cheerleaders.
Just a comment. It was nice to see as many girls as we had out for cheerleaders for the first time in about 10 years, and I think that's a credit to Sue and the job she's done.
My JV cheerleaders. They're a fabulous group of girls, each and every one of them, and I wish I could give all of them an award. I'll start with my 2 JV captains, who were wonderful. Their enthusiasm was just great, and they really held their team together, and they were strict, and they were a lot of fun, and they were a joy to work with. Teresa Weissenberg and Bonnie Friedenberg. Scott. Christy Scott. And that's the JV squad. Okay, the varsity cheerleaders, some of them are getting their letter, and some of them already have their letter, so they're all getting a pin for their letter. So some are getting certificates and letters and pins, and some are just getting the certificates and the pins. Once again, I'll start with my captains who are outstanding. I wish I could keep them for next year. Jen's graduating. I hope Catherine will be back. But Catherine, Pace, and Jen Zahner. Okay, Heather Baker. Allison Cisco. Kim Kelly. Erica Brewer. Peg Holmquist. Lisa Robertson. Jody Cruz. Julie Miller. Charity Pope. I saved this for last because I can't pronounce it. Ava Lego. Okay. And then I have 3 trophies, and I wish I had 22 trophies because they were all wonderful. Every one of them was just great. So I just wish I could give something to all of you. The first trophy goes to the most improved. I remember the first day of practice. This gal was, she was shy and she'd never cheered before, and she just kind of stayed back and observed. And the young woman that came the first day of practice and then that cheered the last football game, I wouldn't even realize she was the same person. She did a fabulous job. And this goes to Heather Briglin. The next trophy is for the most dedicated. And this young woman, I could always count on. She was always so reliable, and I could always call her or get in touch with her if something needed to be done or we needed something done at the school. And she worked well with all the other girls, and she just was a joy to work with. And the most dedicated goes to Captain Page. This is the most outstanding cheerleader, and this young woman was always, she had such enthusiasm, and she's just a super cheerleader. I remember first week of practice, one of the new JVs, I heard them talking, and one of the new JV girls said, boy, she's awesome, and that pretty much sums it up, and it's Jen's honor.
year. She has done an excellent job. She was nervous at the beginning, had a couple doubts on what to do, but no matter what, she always came through. So we would just like to give her this gift certificate. We got your $50 gift certificate and some flowers, purple white flowers. There's a couple cards from the Varsity and G. Oh, that is. And our JV and where's the rest of the cards? Oh, three. Okay. Well, for the rest of you, I totally encourage you to come back to her because she's a great coach. And love you.
Here's your coach, Pluta.
Okay, I would like to start this evening by thanking some of the many people who helped in making a football program successful. First of all, I'd like to start with my wife and my daughter, Elizabeth. Their support and understanding and their help in me keeping things in perspective goes an awful long way to helping make us successful. And that leads me to the wives and the families of the other coaching staff. Many people don't realize the sacrifices that they make in time and commitment, giving up family time and things. I think they all deserve a real round of applause. I'd like to thank the administration, Dr. Cleveland, Mr. Walters, and in particular our athletic director, Mr. Jones. Their commitment to having an excellent program and putting our kids out there in top quality gear is essential to the growth and success of our program. To the Booster Club, for the many hours that they spend on behalf of our team, not only in fundraising, but also in the moral support and enthusiasm that they give to our players. I think they're the best organization by far around, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to work with these fine young athletes. To Dr. Fitzko, the chain gang, our announcers and ground crew who helped make game day such an easy thing. To Mr. Pete Smith for his very special contribution to the team this year. Mr. Lee Sapensky for taking all of our films, both varsity and JV games. That provides us with a quality learning experience. To Mr. Pete Harvey, who kept our game statistics for us. And Mr. Kip Cooper, who can't be here tonight, but he takes such good care of our players and provides us with medical care and makes sure that we put good, healthy people on the field every week. To Rich and Matt. Oh, I turned it off. To Rich and Matt from WCHN, who gave us a real chance to help to sell our program this year, and we really appreciate WCHN and Matt and Rich for that opportunity. And most of all, I'd like to thank our players and their willingness and commitment to the game of football that really makes all of this possible. And gentlemen, you did a wonderful job for us this year, and we really appreciate that. I'd like to take the time here to make two very special presentations tonight and notes of thanks. On behalf of the Booster Club and the coaching staff, we would like to thank John Ward for his tireless efforts on behalf of our team as a manager this year. John's hard work from the first day of practice, the first day of double sessions, and right up to the last game of the season, really go unnoticed, but they certainly don't go unappreciated. And John, we'd like to have you come up here tonight and accept a token on behalf of our program. Being president of the Booster Club is a very time-consuming and pretty thankless job, and we have been very fortunate this past year to have a man who's given tirelessly of himself on behalf of our program, always keeping the well-being and the good of the team at the forefront, and he's also made certain that the efforts of the Booster Club have been consistent with the goals of our program. And on behalf of the coaching staff, I'd like to make a small presentation to Mr. Gale and thank Lee Gale very much for his efforts this year. Now, the primary reason for our football program heading in the right direction, as we believe it is now, is the people that we have working in it. And I'd like to take this time to introduce to you the members of our coaching staff. First of all, the members of our modified coaching staff, Mr. Corey Wolford and Mr. Bob Branham. You guys want to stand up so you can see it here a little bit. They have the very difficult task of introducing not only our system, but also teaching fundamentals to many players who for the first time have come out for the sport. And we're starting to really reap some of the fruits of their labors. We have quite a few guys who started out with them in our program, and these guys are doing a great job. Our junior varsity coaches who you met earlier, Mr. Norm Kaufman and Mr. Joe Moriano. Helping us to turn our program around are very important to our future growth. Not only do they coach during the JV games and during the week, but they are primarily responsible for our scouting and also helping us to institute our game plan on our Sunday meetings. And we're very lucky to have them as part of our program. I consider myself to be very fortunate, and our program in general to be fortunate, to be associated with the next three gentlemen I'd like to introduce to you, our varsity football staff. Since August 15th, 7 days a week, we've been together. We've argued, we fought, we discussed, we laughed together, and we cried together. We had a ball the whole way. This is the most fun that I've had in my coaching career, and it's due largely to these three guys. First of all, Coach Lee Sapinski. Coach Sapinski was in charge of coordinating our special teams, worked with the running backs and defensive backs. This year we blocked 10 kicks, we returned 2 punts, blocks for touchdowns, and we returned a kickoff for a touchdown. Coach Sapinski also did a great job on the phones this year, relaying messages from the field back to the press box, and we really appreciate his efforts. Coach John Martinson. Coach Martinson is our defensive coordinator, works with linebackers and receivers. Our defensive unit is becoming not only one of the most respected, but one of the most feared in Section 4. And it's been his enthusiasm and his desire to create an attacking and very aggressive defense that's been largely responsible for that. And Coach, keep up the good work. Coach Mickey James. James was our offense and defensive line coach. His efforts, we had 2 Division III All-Stars from the defensive line. Our offensive point production went from last in Division III to number 1 in Division III this year, in a large part due to Coach James's efforts with our offensive line. We're thrilled to have him as part of our program. He brings 19 years of experience, commitment, loyalty to Norwich, and a willingness to work and a desire to win our program. And we hope to have him for a long time. varsity coaches at this time to come forward and to help me present to you our football program for 1990. I'd like to start out with the underclassmen, and gentlemen, as you come forward, receive your letters and pins from the coaching staff, and please remain up front here. Thank you. Okay, first of all, Joe Bates. Joe is a junior, is an offensive and defensive tackle in our program. Co-captain Mike Glennis. Mike is a two-way tackle. Scott Davern. Keith Evans. Keith is a sophomore and is in the second year as a varsity football player. He was a two-way starter for us this year. Matt Gale. Matt is a junior in the second year as a starting fullback for us, also defensive end. Dan Jennings. Dan is another one of our sophomores who is a second-year player, was a starter on the defensive line this year. Jason Morris. Jason was a starting wide receiver and defensive back. Bob Scudder. Bob Scudder is a tight end and defensive end. His first year varsity this year. Kevin Slater. Kevin was our starting quarterback, starting defensive back. Tom Stoddard. Tom is a sophomore, starter on the defensive line this year. Terry Wilhelm. Terry is a sophomore, linebacker, running back. Keenan Benjamin. Keenan is a sophomore, started at defensive back, also a running back. Randy Dunkel. Randy is a wide receiver and defensive back. Joe Law. Joe is a junior, tight end and a linebacker. Bill Mcneil. Bill is a sophomore, played defensive back and started at tight end the last two games. Paul Overly. Paul is a junior defensive and offensive tackle. Mark Young. Mark is a defensive back and a wide receiver. These gentlemen have given us a great foundation to build on. We're ready now to go to the next level in our program. And it's going to depend an awful lot on the commitment that these guys are willing to make. How much that they're going to give in the off season. We encourage each and every one of you to compete in other sports, to work hard in the classroom, to participate in our strength and conditioning program so you can lead us next year to the top of the heap. Thanks a lot, man. now to present to you our seniors. And as we call the seniors' names up here for their letters, we also will present them with their game jerseys, their home game jerseys, which is part of an ongoing tradition started by our booster club. We thank them a great deal for that. Okay, Captain Edie Holmquist. Edward's a linebacker and offensive guard. Peter Ortel. Peter's our starting tight end and a defensive tackle. Jason Zumo. Jason Zumo is our kicker this year. Also played defensive back and quarterback. Sam Reifenberg. Sam is a two-way starter at defensive end and running back. Bruce Persons. Healthy and playing basketball again. Kevin Worley. Kevin is a running back and a linebacker. Don Reese. Don is a starting fullback and linebacker. Aaron Giltner. Running back. Matt Wolford. Matt was our starting center. Also played defensive end and defensive tackle. And Captain Steve Burke. Steve was a starting offensive guard. You gentlemen have done an awful lot to head our direction our program in the right direction. You guys have dedicated yourselves to hard work and success. As a result, we are very confident that you are going to leave our program with a strong self-assurance, a solid work ethic, and a positive attitude that's going to help you the rest of your lives. The self-assurance that each of you know that whatever you do in life, you're going to be successful. A good work ethic, both on and off the football field. Your education is the most important key that any of you have to your future. We hope that you continue to work hard at your education and will always work at learning. With a positive attitude, we can overcome any obstacle in our life. If we greet each new day with enthusiasm and turn our setbacks into comebacks through the force of a positive effort, reaching our goals and the hopes that we establish in our lives. As you leave our program, I hope that you always remember something that we tried very hard to teach you. Never fear failure. If you are, you're never going to reach your maximum potential. It has become very commonplace to associate failure with weakness in our lives today. Everybody in life gets knocked down. Everybody in life falls down. What we hope that you can take from our program with you is the knowledge that getting knocked down and falling down is not a sign of weakness. It's when you fail to try to get up is when you're weak. And if you guys continue to get up, and if you continue to strive for excellence in your lives, you will never be weak and you'll never be a failure. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your efforts. And I'd like to start off with Coach Martinson with the Tornado Awards.
The Tornado Club is something new as defensive coordinator, which I tried to implement last year. Unfortunately, we didn't have any players who made the Tornado Club last year. This year, I'm proud to say that we had 10 defensive players make the Tornado Club. In order for a player to make the Tornado Club, he needs to spell out the word tornado, and he can receive a player for any of the following defensive plays. A block kick, such as a punt or a PAT, an interception, a fumble recovery, 3 tackles behind the line of scrimmage in a game, 2 sacks in a game, the defensive play of the game, which is based on film analysis by all the coaches and their input, or by a defensive score, such as a safety or a touchdown. And if a defensive score is made, each player on the defensive team at that time will receive a letter. This year, our defense, with the help of Mr. Sapinski's special teams, also is included in this. Blocked 10 kicks, averaging more than 1 block a game. Intercepted 8 times. Scored 6 times, 5 touchdowns and 1 safety, totaling up to 32 points. Recovered 16 fumbles, almost 2 per game, and made 18 sacks, averaging 2 per game. With those statistics, you can have what is known as an attacking defense, and that's what I'm here to do. As a reward for the great defensive play, each player's name will be inscribed on a plaque as a member of the 1990 Tornado Club, pride of the Purple Tornado defense. And this will be displayed as soon as it's made, which I don't have right now. It will be displayed in the coach's office or in the gym hallway. And every year the player makes it, his name will be added to the plaque, and it should go on for 5 years, and every 5 years we will get a new one. Each Tornado Club member will also have a tornado stitched on his varsity jacket. And if the player receives the award more than once or doesn't have a varsity coat, he'll receive a patch for that. At this time, I'm very proud to present to you this year's Tornado Club members. And when I call your name, could you please stand up and remain standing? And when everyone's finished, will we have a nice round of applause for these gentlemen. First one, Ed Holmquist. Sam Reichenberg. Aaron Gilbert. Don Reed. Mike Bennett. Tom Stoddard. Steve Evans, Jason Morris, Stephen Benjamin, and Kevin Slater.
Okay, next is our All Shenango County Awards, and I'd like the gentlemen to stand as I call your names. On offense, Mike Glennis at tackle. Sam Reichenberg at running back. Jason Morris at wide receiver. And Jason Zumo as the kicker. Names for the All-County defensive team: Tom Stoddard at nose guard. Aaron Gilbert, the linebacker, defensive end. And Ed Holmquist, the linebacker. Congratulations, gentlemen. For our All Division III awards, if you guys would come forward as we call your name. Okay, offensively, to All Division III running back Sam Reichenberg. Flanker Aaron Giltner. At nose guard Tom Stoddard. First team Division III at defensive tackle Michael Glennis. And at linebacker Ed Holmquist. Congratulations. Also this year selected to participate in the Ernie Davis Exceptional Senior All-Star Classic that was held on Thanksgiving morning at defensive back Aaron Giltner and linebacker Edward Holmquist. And we also had a selection this year to the All-Metro team, which is the all-star team from the entire Section 4 area. It's one of the best 22, but actually one of the best 11 players on defense. In our opinion, the best defensive player in the league, All-Metro, Ed Holmquist. Okay, the first team award that we'd like to give tonight goes to our most improved player of 1990. Throughout the off-season, the regular season, this young man worked very hard to improve his skills and his strength, and his leadership and the quiet intensity that he displayed on the football field this year helped set the tone for our team. Most improved player of 1990, Peter Ortel. Our most dedicated and team loyalty award goes to the player who most gives of himself to the team, playing wherever he's needed, whatever position he's needed at, and exhibits great loyalty and dedication to the goals of the program. This year's Team Loyalty Award goes to Matt Wolford. The next award is the Outstanding Back Award. He led our team in rushing and TDs. He developed into a respected leader, a very quality football player, and very unselfish, Mr. Sam Reichenberg. Our outstanding lineman, this young man was a two-way starter at offensive and defensive tackle. He's been starting for us since he's a freshman. He's still only a junior. He's a very top-quality football player, Michael Blenheim. Our most valuable player award goes to an all-everything player. He was a top-notch team leader and a source of inspiration to his teammates. Most importantly, he's an outstanding young man. Through his commitment to himself, his personal pride and integrity, he gave himself an opportunity for great success and achievement. A list of some of his achievements. He was all-county on the defensive team. He was first team All-Division III defensive team. He was a starting linebacker in the Ernie Davis All-Star game. He was All-Metro defensive team. He was a captain of the 1990 Tornado football team. And the most deserving MVP award, Edward Holmquist. Congratulations, gentlemen, on behalf of the entire football program. I'd like to have the three captains from this year's team please come up for some captain time. Ed has a few things to say about what being a captain meant to him, and then we will introduce you to the captains of the 1991 football team.
To me, it was the most important thing I've ever done in my life. It's a great thing to do. It's a lot of responsibility. Every day you go out on that field, you know, freshman, junior, sophomore, he's looking up to you. And you have to show leadership throughout the game, practices. And these two guys here, they showed a lot of leadership throughout the whole year. And everybody on that table did. We had a great season. A lot of our coaches, they helped us out a lot. Really a lot. I'd just like to say, if you're ever a captain, it takes a lot of responsibility and it's a great honor. Alright, our budget wasn't good job. They did a nice job. Every day our coaches argue about what teams they like. You know, Mr. James liked Cleveland Browns. You know, Steelers. But I just like to present them all with a little token of our appreciation. That's just mine. That's fine. We just got the Syracuse hat. You guys gave me one day to figure out what I could buy. Each coach gets Syracuse hat. We got something to split here. He was there every day, giving out some water. You know, sometimes you got a hard time buying it. He brought it out most of the time. So, please. We bought you a box of candy. Coach on this table because they helped us out the whole year. We'd like a round of applause.
Okay, to finish this evening, I'd like to introduce at this time the 1991 Norwich football captains as chosen by the Norwich football program. We had each JV and varsity member of this year's team vote for captains this year, and these will be our captain-elects and have a great responsibility in leading our team throughout not only next year but the entire off-season. I'd like you to stand as I call your name. Captains for 1991, Michael Blennis. Jason Morris. And Tom Stoddard.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.